So we're about to return you to Jerry Harrison. We will in a moment. Almost a full house at the football stadium. We're not sure what the crowd is. Just a reminder that 3 matches on tomorrow in Australia 93. The other match in Group A between Russia and Cameroon will be on in Canberra, and we shall be watching that very, very closely indeed. And in the group of death in Brisbane, as it's called, the toughest group of the lot, Group B, those 4 nations will be battling in a double header in Brisbane. Remember too that daylight saving is not yet over, or will not yet be over in, well, in fact there is no daylight saving in Queensland, so it is a different time zone than us, a 1 hour difference in fact, tomorrow. But we will have a match for you at 8:30 tomorrow, and then highlights of all matches at 10:30 Eastern Summer Time. We are having some audio problems, I gather. And I think we're okay now. Let's take you back now to Jerry Harrison.
They've got a chance here to take both points. But I think in the course of their preparation under coach Les Scheinflug in the last 12 months, they've experienced some difficult times in South America, in Europe and in the Middle East. So they'll take that blow very well, and be interesting to see how they come forward on that one. It would have been interesting too to be in the Australian dressing room at half-time. They've got a very powerful coaching unit. Scheinflug, Raul Blanco and Victor Fernandez, players who not only know Australian football but very world-wise as far as football outside this island, and they can really get the best out of this very enthusiastic side. But they've got to be careful. Colombia have skills, they have quality, and they must have received a terrific boost through Zambrano's goal. So Juric and Craig Moore, who had a wonderful first half for the youngest player in the Australian side. Superb goal, of course, by Ante Milicic, combining well with Agostino. But they've got to do it all again now. Once more, the same sort of patience, making sure the back door is kept firmly locked and barred. With Zambrano, the number 7, always the most dangerous. Oh, that's not a particularly good ball from the right-hand side. Moric coming back, Pereira leaning on him. So once again, keep the tempo up, keep knocking it around, take no risks. Wingers wide on the left. There's a lot of movement up front. It's good play there by Moric going inside. Does well to hold off his man and win a free kick. This is getting better. A player who had to fight for his place in this side. There was a choice of 3, and there's another yellow card there for not accepting the referee's decision. They're coming thick and fast here. And a free kick from, I think, too far out to test the goalkeeper, but there's a good chip forward. Knocked into the middle, but not particularly well knocked in. Well, Colombia has started in the second half as they did in the first half. They collected 4 yellows overall in the first half. Number 2 Quintero, number 7 Zambrano, Gonzalez and Ortegon. Now it's up to 5. and it all counts in the final analysis. 2 yellow cards, of course, means automatic expulsion from this game, but 2 yellow cards means missing a game in the course of the competition. And down goes Muscat, not very much impressing the referee, but it's certainly a throw-in to Australia now. Now they're driving forward hard. Juric, well-considered ball, nicely knocked off by Agostino. Goalkeeper comes out, Velez gets there. Good bit of judgment and a good punch in the end to Zambrano. But Australia working very hard there. Peter Sekenis to Carbone. But Colombia get everybody behind the ball. And the long one goes forward. And Milicic can't get it. But they put the squeeze on here. Can they pick it up again? They can. 1-1 early in the second half. And this game very much in the balance. Great challenge by Craig Moore. Pereira knocks it through to Restrepo. Sekenis is penalised. Frustrating one for Sekenis. Restrepo through for Zambrano, the danger man. 3 against 1 there, too many. It's away by Muscat. Back in again by Flores. And an easy one for the goalkeeper from Tierra Dentro. That'll help Vince Matassa, who was probably pretty disappointed about the goal he conceded. Tight marking by the Colombians. Your first touch has got to be good. And Moreno battling there, outnumbered, and then outfought by the captain Muscat. Sweeper, Quintero, no back pass of course. Sensible play to Ortegon. Well, there on the right hand side is the Colombian coach, Reynaldo Rueda, 35 years of age. He's been in charge only 2 months. Must have been delighted the way things went for them in 37 minutes of the first half. They must be well pleased with the way they're keeping Australia out at the moment. Peter Sekenis does well. That's a nice little nudge forward to Milicic. Sekenis is supporting him again. Forward goes Moric. Not good enough with the cross. Wingle in well. Push there. No, play on, says the referee, as the hard-running Moreno gets possession. Does well. Good play. Craig Moore does well to get the ball away without bringing him down. It's still Moreno against Juric. And Craig Moore, that looked a little bit hasty, that challenge. Well, Juric had him covered. What do you think about that particular tackle? Restrepo trapped, gets it away well. Moreno and Wingle booted out by Craig Moore. It's 1 against 2 here. Agostino, and 3 if you count Ortegon here. Too long a pass, and anyhow Henry Zambrano on that left-hand side was offside. Interchanging up front by Milicic and Agostino as the ball is knocked around at the back. Agostino comes forward, tight marking again, and it's calmly put away. And this is a break on now by Zambrano. Zambrano's in there once more. He's so quick. He's like lightning. That came from a poor clearance, intercepted. Zambrano's away. It's not his favourite foot, and the challenge is coming in here, but he still gets a shot in. If he'd have put it on his left foot, perhaps he could have got a better angle. But that is a quality striker. Not a good clearance, a little bit of fortune, but they nearly made it count. So once again, the warning signs there for Australia. They're just beginning to play with the football. Some carelessness as Colombia swatted and put Zambrano in, and they were almost 2-1 down. Crowd now getting behind them. It's so important for players of this age group that they can feel the support and indeed the sympathy and understanding of the crowd. They can't expect to show against quality South American opposition all the time. It's a game of patience and skill. On the right hand side now is Kevin Muscat to Cranny, who hasn't been brought into the game as much as he would like, and he's been tightly marked by Gonzalez. Good play by Sekenis. He's really blossoming. Sekenis, a difficult role in midfield for Australia. Not really too many creative players in that position. Carbone and Sekenis, hard-working, industrious players, but they've made a mark here and they've often been outnumbered. Well picked up by Ante Moric. Oh, that's a good ball into Milicic. Sekenis couldn't get there. Here's Pereira. Zambrano still sticking to that left-hand side, although he prefers his right foot. Still getting involved as he dashes forward. Flores doing good work. Here's Zambrano. Zambrano again has done a good job. There's the cross. It's out. It's a goal kick. He's so busy. Ferry, they call him, his nickname. It's an area of Medellin where he comes from. But this is a young player who's regular first team experience in a very, very good league. Not a particularly good cross, but the ball, of course, had gone out already. Quintero to Tierra Dentro. Dinas and Marca to Pereira. And Australia have worked hard. They've won back possession. Good play. Moric runs himself into trouble when he could have released it a little bit earlier. Now on the break, Colombia could be very, very dangerous. Restrepo with Zambrano going down the middle. Good cover though by the sweeper. Fairly new to this position. He began life as centre forward, but has slotted into it very well here at a very high level. Flores knocks it in vain. Well, in the course of the last 12 months, Australia have played a lot of very important matches. Won 11, drawn 8, lost 8, but they've grown up in the course of those 12 months. But they need to have mature heads in this situation, because Colombia has certainly pace in Moreno and Zambrano, and although they were expected to be fairly negative, they've actually put some good attacking moves together. This is still going to be a hard one for Australia to win. Put in by Muscat, not good enough. Picked up by Carbone. This is better. to Moric. Oh, and in goes Milicic. Good goalkeeping. Now it's Agostino went in fact, but the goalkeeper went forward for that superbly. That was good judgment. Nice little ball into the hole, but the goalkeeper, good judgment, good handling. Zambrano. Fouled by Moric. So we've had an hour of this game. It's 1-1. Zambrano, who looks a little bit older than 19, but certainly isn't, limping a bit. Restrepo, forward goes Pereira, knocked away by Peter Sakinis. A foul there. So that's the score on the hour. As Restrepo drives it. It's knocked out by Wingle. Zambrano. Good play by Colombia here. They're so comfortable in possession. Australia working hard to keep them out. Zambrano to Pereira. Pereira turns. Lovely play. Great performance here. And off the bar. Should have pulled it back. Pereira with a wonderful bit of skill. It's still not over the danger. Flores has got a good right foot. Watch out. Restrepo. They're under the cosh here. Moreno. And Muscat gets in. Cranny to Carbone. You can understand why the Australian coaching staff, who've seen plenty of football around the world in the last few years, rated Colombia as the Australians' biggest threat in this Group A. Russia and of course Cameroon, our other opponents, who start off in Canberra, but they're lucky to get away with that one. Comes back to Juric and Carbone. Good play, but can they pick out the front men? Carbone, Sakinis, good first time pass to Mark Wingle. What about the cross here? Lets it run on. Moric, and on the far post is Cranny. There was a chance, but the flag surely was up. But when that ball first came through, that was where the opportunity was. Not when Sean Cranny had the shot and he was offside. It's a lovely ball in. Now here's the opportunity there. The control by Milicic, not quite good, although the defending was very good, and then he's offside. It's encouraging play though by Australia. And I think a substitution about to be made here by Australia, with the hard-working Darren Ioka to come on. But there's danger here as Colombia break down that left-hand side. Gonzalez, and they're coming up in numbers as well. Zambrano to Pereira. Pereira, strength getting him through here. Pereira coming again. Zambrano. In goes Moric, and it's Australia who are working hard to keep them out now. So this was a side, Colombia is, who qualified in third position in the South American Championships. Have had good record at senior and junior level recently, but they've had a reputation of not being able to score goals. Only 4 goals in 6 games in the South American qualifying tournament. They look pretty dangerous to me. So substitution for Australia. Sean Cranny is coming off. He's taken a couple of knocks. He hasn't been able to get into the game as much as he would like. He has had an ankle injury and blisters, but there's a chance for fresh legs as number 16 Darren Ioka comes on from the Marconi club, an 18-year-old who came into the squad very late on, and he will really enjoy this opportunity. Well, it's been hard out there on that right-hand flank for Sean Cranny, and now it's Ioka who's going to have a little crack at it. Moreno knocks it back. Sakinis glides away beautifully. Once again, the tackle from behind is going to be penalised by a yellow card, and it's Thierry Dentro who becomes the 6th player to be booked. Again, it's the tackle from behind, which the referee, I think, quite cruelly punishes there. As Craig Moore knocks it forward, this is an opportunity. It's touched on by Ioka for his first effort. Well, we expected really to see more of the defensive skills of the Colombian goalkeeper Daniel Velez. We haven't seen that much of it. Every time it's given away in midfield, Australia are in trouble, particularly when Zambrano picks it up. He's a little bit greedy there. He could have knocked it aside to Pereira, and unselfishly hard work by Sakinis puts Australia in a good position. Carbone wide. Moric, now he can get the cross in. This is looking good. A definite chance for Agostino, and with his background of full-time professional football in Switzerland, he really should have done better with this. He certainly should have hit the target and made the goalkeeper make a save. He went for too much power. He should have gone for direction. It was a lovely cross. There was a golden opportunity, and I'm afraid they've missed it. Meanwhile, the yellow cards add up for Colombia, although in goals it's only 1-1. Here comes Muscat, driving forward well. Straight to Dinas, unfortunately. Restrepo is doing a good holding job in midfield for Colombia. Pereira, the number 8, looks very strong. Flores is charging down the right-hand side. This is really a game. Very much more open than the first half an hour. And either side could win this one. Restrepo getting in there. Here's Pereira. Restrepo can get a cross in. Well, to the relief of goalkeeper Vince Matassa, there wasn't much to it. They're pretty relieved too. Well, he got a reasonable opportunity. The deflection killed it. Now, who can wrestle the points in the closing stages of the game? It's more a question of nerve than of fitness. And so many Colombian players have been booked now that they're in danger of getting the second yellow card and taking an early bath. Now, the free kick, Mark Wingle to knock it into the middle, and this might be an opportunity for Australia, but really, again, the goalkeeper not tested. Some of the crosses haven't been 100%. I think all the coaching staff of Australia would agree with that situation, but they are getting players into the right positions, and that's what counts early on in the competition. There's plenty of time left yet, provided they keep the back door locked. Ayoka, nice little wriggle, good play. Not quite good enough with the cross. Sakinis, who's really blossomed in this midfield. Mark Wingle, Sakinis supporting again. Now Zambrano trying to get away, but Wingle keeps calm. And I think Zambrano is having a little bit of a problem. He's got an injury here as we're now in the 70th minute, and it remains at 1-1. Wingle has gone down the left-hand side. Ayoka's gone down the right-hand side. They're pushing and pulling, trying to create width and space through the middle. Juric looking for Muscat. Nice play by the Australian captain. Carbone, they're working very, very hard here, Australia, but Colombia, every man behind the ball. Oh, nice little touch here. This is good play with Kevin Muscat getting the cross in, and Agostino couldn't quite get there. Oh, they're still battling, and this is a bad challenge. And this is a booking and a problem. The referee's instructions in these circumstances are to be very forthright about challenges like that. That's yet another yellow card, and this time it's Nelson Flores. Flores, the 7th yellow card, but more important than that, there's an injury to the Australian player. And sadly, for the moment anyhow, off goes 18-year-old Ante Moric of the Sydney Croatia club. But a free kick might bring something, with Mark Wingle to knock it in. Muscat is over the far side, he dropped it short. Agostino couldn't get there. Sakinis is wide on the right-hand side now, on the left-hand side, battling to get involved here. Carbone does well. Ayoka still down to 10 men at the moment. Good play, Muscat. Oh, the ball again, not quite good enough. It's been quite a bit of that from Kevin Muscat. Now Zambrano and company are on the move forward. Lopez to Moreno. Tight marking again by Craig Moore, who always seems to pop up in the important position. And see how hard Muscat has worked to get back and help cover. Sakinis and Wingle. With on the sideline another substitution imminent. They do play the game well in tight areas, Colombia, and they're still willing to get players forward on the assault. They too feel they can win this one. Zambrano, and once again the valiant Craig Moore. Well, the news is not particularly good for Colombia here, but it might be quite encouraging for Australia, because the most dangerous player, Henry Zambrano, is coming off. He's taken a couple of knocks. He doesn't look that particularly happy about it. And coming on now is Victor Mafla. Again, a front player who was expected to be in the starting lineup. Strepo, ball forward, knocked out by Muscat. Bit of pressure on them. Milicic gets hold of it. does well to keep hold of it. Ioka, and that's a better ball to Agostina. They're beginning to link up. Well done that right-hand side now. And a foul there, and possibly a problem as Quintero goes down. We can have another substitution, but the referee, meanwhile, is having a look at the incident over the far side. Fabio Macalino is on, or looking forward to getting involved, I think, on the left-hand side. The referee says we can't have any treatment for the terminally injured Quintero. We must continue the game. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be taken by Ioka, and it's a good one. Oh, hits the bar. Goalkeeper can't get it, and it's Muscat who knocks it in. Kevin Muscat on the rebound, and Australia are in the lead. Extraordinary events here. Colombia complaining. The injured player, Quintero, is still down and out over the far side. The referee insists the game should be restarted, and 75 minutes, Muscat has put Australia into the lead. Ioka's free kick, the header there against the bar. It couldn't react quick enough. Muscat was onto it like a flash before the goalkeeper, and whack, it's into the back of the net. It's 2-1. Well, it looked as if it was Agostino's header, but it was certainly Muscat's drive. And Ioka, with the cross, did the job. Difficult one to clear for Restrepo, but Muscat got onto it like a flash. Well, Kevin Muscat, the survivor of Portugal 91, has put Australia into the lead in the most amazing way. Well, Kevin Muscat will no doubt support the referee's view that you play on, you don't react to those little activities that the South Americans tend to perpetrate. Muscat, the leader and the hero. Agostino gets it away acrobatically. Oh, and driving forward on the left-hand side was Macalino. So it's Macalino down the left-hand side now, one of the substitutes on for the injured Moric. Macalino going in there. Restrepo is fouled. So fresh legs have done wonders for Australia, although there's an injury here which won't please them too much. Mark Windle is hurt. Restrepo's in some trouble. Well, there's a collision here which the referee didn't like, but there was an elbow, then a tumble. Well, there's problems here for Australia. Colombia trailing by 2-1, have the corner with Restrepo to take it. Moreno coming to the near post. No Zambrano, of course. And the danger is over. It's goal kick. Well, the joy of the situation here for Australians. There was some frustration early on, turned to relief, and now they're really enjoying this tournament. Milicic marked by Quintero. Macalino, losing out to Mafla. But Sakinis is really proving his worth in midfield with Carboni. They've made a big difference with their effort. Carboni picks that one up. He's in the perfect position to cut out the pass and spray it wide to Ioka. Carboni. And Colombia at full stretch there. And what a difference Ioka has made on the right-hand side in the short time he's been on. So 80 minutes gone. Australia leading by 2-1 here in Sydney, and the crowd right behind them as they go hunting the third. Oh, a great save by Velez. Milicic with the shot, very acrobatic, good goalkeeping. Long throw from Muscat, the old flick on or bad header, just the same thing. Milicic, great save by Velez. Restrepo. Wingle is penalised, and Sakinis, is it who gets a yellow card? Certainly the Danish referee, Kim Nielsen, very quick, and there's another one for Wingle. They have to get back fast. Sakinis with that first challenge, then Wingle, and the referee didn't like it. So once again, the referees here making their mark, bringing the three-man wall back. Restrepo, the number 16, and Mafla on the ball. Restrepo chips it forward. It's a dangerous one, but it's away by Agostino. He's got some valuable headers in both penalty areas. Now it's Australia's turn to get as many players as possible behind the ball. This is good play by Colombia. Quintero, the libero or sweepers, pushing forward as an attacker. Carboni competing with Dinas here. And Ioka, and it's a throw to Colombia. Muscat coming in hard. Oh, it's a fortunate ball forward for Pereira. It'll come again, but the whistle had gone. Well, what have we got? We've got 8 minutes. We've got Australia leading by 2-1. Quick thinking when it counted, and patience on other occasions. They've had a bit of fortune. Colombia hit the woodwork, but so too have Australia had a bit of bad luck in their shooting areas. But to be leading 2-1 after falling behind is good news for home supporters, but it's not over yet. Macalino does well. It's not a particularly good ball into midfield by Milicic it was. Now there's a lot of urgency in the Colombian play. Agostino to Carboni. If they can get another one, that'll certainly see the Colombians off. Carboni, Macalino does well to hold off his man Flores. Good play through the legs of Piero Dentro. Macalino wasting it all. That was a pretty big boot out by Daniel Velez. Pursuit is on by Moreno. Craig Moore comfortably in there quickly and uses it so well. Muscat. The gaps are opening up in midfield, but unfortunately not for the front two. Well, you could hardly say they look satisfied with the performance, but they will do if the final whistle goes and it's 2-1. Muscat can knock one in here. Again, straight to an opponent. Sikinis does well to get in. Mafla for Colombia. Down the right hand side. Flores. But he's getting a little bit tired, a little bit over ambitious. And again, Australia working together in groups, and they get that one away quite comfortably. Agostino, not a good ball for him, an easy one for the marker. And again now it's Colombia looking a little bit leg weary, and it's Australia finishing stronger. Ioka with Carboni charging down the right hand side, taking defenders with him. Up goes Agostino. No real chance of a scoring hitter from that distance. Appeals for what? Cramp, I think. And help, or sympathy at least, from the referee. I don't think he's going to get either. Well, it was a difficult cross from the right. Agostino running hard, working hard as ever, but the marker made it almost impossible for him. Now here come Colombia back in the closing stages. Pretty hopeful, and really not a lot of quality in it. Well, you can imagine how disappointed they feel at the moment after they'd had that boost of Zambrano's goal in the first half. Had a couple of opportunities and some good spells in the second. Now they're trailing by 2-1. They've had far too many bookings for comfort. Flores to Mafla. Oh, there's a bit of space here for Pereira. This is dangerous. But he's trying too hard, and that comes to nothing. Gonzalez had a very good first half down that left-hand flank. We haven't seen quite so much of him in the second half, though. And they can take their time to an extent. Oh, there's a bit of space here for Milicic, with 2 minutes on the clock left, plus stoppage time. Sikinis, touch on by Macalino, hacked away by Quintero rather desperately. Into Juric goes in well. Dinas away. Gonzalez can't get there. That'll do for Australia. Well, the rules of the competition of this kind, the first game is always a worrying one, particularly when you're the hosts. But when you fall behind and the crowd are stunned, and a talented side like the Colombians go into the lead, that's a big worry. It was important for the Australians not to lose this match, but now it looks as if they might win it, but it's not over yet. Flores is working hard there. Flores doing a great job. Here's Mafla, pushed wide here by Macalino. Good enough, it's a corner, it's still dangerous, but it could have been far worse. So we have, on our clock, less than a minute left for Colombia to get back in this one. Restrepo takes the short one. Restrepo trying to get inside. He's done well. He shoots. Oh, my goodness me, that was so dangerous. He's a bit worried there, no doubt about that. He came inside Macalino well. The shot gets away from him. So lucky. Desperately unlucky, Restrepo. And really, it should have been 2-2. Understandably, the Australians are asking for the final whistle. The referee just checked his watch, and there he goes. The first game here in Australia is complete, and the hosts have won by 2-1. Relief for Les Scheinflug and the coaching staff, but have a little bit of sympathy for Colombia. Hitting the woodwork there in the closing seconds. They hit the woodwork also at the early stages of the second half when Pereira drove in down the right-hand side. But Australia showed quality. They showed quick thinking to act on the referee's decision and take that free kick when the Colombians were trying to waste time. And Kevin Muscat showed quick thinking when he picked up the rebound and drove in a very important winner. So it wasn't a perfect performance. It was in some ways a tentative start, but they showed character, they showed quality in the key areas, and the hosts, Australia, have begun well against the talented Colombian side by winning 2-1.
Jerry Harrison at the Sydney Football Stadium, and that result will read well. Australia 2, Colombia 1, and of course Australia on top of the group. We just have time for a quick reaction from our experts. Firstly to you, Robbie Wheatley, because it will be a sense of deja vu for you. The match went pretty well the same way as it did in 1981, the opening game.
Very pleasing result, Les, and certainly being 1 goal down, the Australians have fought valiantly to get back into this game, and I think really, although the Colombians had a couple of chances, they deserve their victory. There'll be a lot of elation in that change room, and there'll be a lot of relief as well, because that's a great result to open the tournament.
John, I think the Australians are capable of doing even better than this, and they did have a lot more chances than they put away.
Much better, Les, and they say it's always a good sign when you don't play well and win. But the thing that impressed me about the game tonight was the refereeing, particularly the wasting time, the ball not getting back, all the things that we've talked about and haven't happened over the years. It was an excellent exhibition from Nielsen tonight.
I would agree with you, John, and Robbie, thank you for tonight. We, of course, will catch up with you tomorrow. And the action tomorrow in Group A, the second of the first round matches, Russia versus Cameroon at the Bruce Stadium in Canberra, kicking off at 8:30, and the first double-header from Group B at Lang Park in Brisbane. Portugal versus Germany kicks off at 6:15 local time, and then Uruguay versus Ghana at 8:30. And we'll bring you the pick of those matches in full at 8:30 tomorrow night, followed at 10:30 by highlights of all 3 matches played tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon at 4, a full replay of tonight's opening game. But till then, thank you for being with us. From the World Game, good night.
Australia 93 was proudly brought to you by McDonald's and Kellogg's Cornflakes.